Welcome to Olive and Two Ewe Studios. We are here live on a Monday because we have something super exciting and special to talk about. So you might remember Nomadic Knits from the Knitmas Knit Along that happens every single year. But did you know that Nomadic Knits also does every single year? This is the 5th year, the Lonely Hearts Club Knit Along. It is a super fast, super fun, super colorful knit along that happens every single year. And Olive and Two Ewe Studios is delighted to be the dyer behind the kits this year. So we thought it would be fun to have a quick chat on this Monday afternoon with Becky from Nomadic Knits to learn about all things Lonely Hearts Club. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Becky on screen. Hi, Becky. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Michelle?
I am well. So tell us where you're at and what the weather's like, because that has been just like a hot topic everywhere right now in the US. What's going on?
So I'm in the very southernmost part of Arizona right now, but I'm at elevation. So it is very sunny and sometimes it gets really warm, but it's been getting down below freezing at night. But I have my dear friend Helen just knit me this vest, and I've been living in it since she made it because I love it, and it keeps me at the perfect temperature for this sort of up and down. So it's really, I can't complain compared to the rest of the country. How are you guys doing?
We have been definitely down in the temperatures, but today it's actually warming up. It's super sunny outside and warmer. I have to admit, though, I love the cold weather. I've been enjoying all the hand knits. This is my gossamer twist that I'm wearing today. And
Beautiful.
thank you. Been getting all cozy, but it's definitely trending upwards a little bit right now. But I know a lot of our friends have endured, snowstorms and snow in Pensacola. I think there were 8 inches of snow in Pensacola and all kinds of things going on. So yeah, but it's time to like snuggle into the hand knits and get cozy, right?
It is. It is. Everybody be safe and just, stay in and pick up your knitting.
Exactly. Pick up your knitting. And we've got something for February happening that you can actually look forward to. So tell me a little bit of the history behind the Nomadic Knits Lonely Hearts Club Knit Along, because I think it was born out of kind of this idea that, Valentine's Day, I'll whisper the words, Valentine's Day isn't exactly like all wonderful and hearts and roses for everybody. So let's all knit. Tell me about that.
So yeah, that's exactly it. That's a great description. Is, there's all this pressure, it seems like, and it's all commercial pressure, right? To be out and about with the one you love, and which is wonderful. If that's your thing and you want to go do that, have at it. Have a wonderful, beautiful, romantic time. But there are so many forms of love, and friendship is, one of the most beautiful things that we have in our lives. And so this is our way of giving everyone a space. So this is our Palentine knit along. And we used to say Galentine, but this is for everybody. We've got pals all over, all genders. Come on in. We're going to knit together. We're going to hang out. We're going to have our own fun in it. It's going to be fun, knitting bestie, knit along fun. No pressure, just a 1 week knit along. And after Knitmas, it's like a palette cleanser, because Knitmas, if you're not familiar with Knitmas, I know you are, Michelle, but it is a 12-day knit along, and it's a mystery knit along. So every day you get a clue, and it's generally a much larger project. So this is like our sorbet, our fun, short and sweet knit along to move us into the year. And it's become this tradition of people sort of kicking off their gift knitting for the year, because it is a hat, and almost all of our patterns have been in multiple sizes up to this point. So that way you can knit for your people and get a jump on that.
I love how modifiable you make it now. And I love that you said it's a way to get your jump on your gift knitting, because we've all been kind of focused on Christmas and Hanukkah and all those things. And so now you can kind of, we're into the new year, slide into it and start looking ahead. And gnats are not good gifts. Hats are very good gifts. Hats are always a great
Yes.
sort of gift to give. It's a super quick knit, super fun, and you can customize it based on the colors that people love. So I'm going to throw up this slide real quick. So the Lonely Hearts Club Knit Along is beginning on February 14th. Is that right?
It is. That is correct.
February 14th. And it says right there, established 2021 is the date that it says that it was established. So
Yes.
that's pretty cool.
We're in year 5.
Year 5. Now
Hard to believe.
Yeah, it is hard to believe. Now you had mentioned that it is. Sorry,
my chair's just got a mind of its own. I'm trying to hold myself still here.
Oh, you called it like the Austin Powers chair. Does it like swivel around?
My villain chair. Except it wants to swivel all the time.
You're hardly a villain, Becky. Hardly a villain. Not a villain at all. So, but you had mentioned that it is customizable. And one of the things that you've done is curated a great selection of kits, let me just say. So Sherry and Terry do our dyeing. They're actually watching from the dye studio right now. And they dye up beautiful, beautiful colorways. But I love that you also put them together in really interesting ways. So first of all, I want to tease the pattern of the hat a little bit because it's a really neat pattern. And I'd love you to talk about it in terms of skill level and what people can expect from that.
Sure, absolutely. So this year's pattern is a stranded knitting pattern. And as Michelle was saying, it is very modifiable. So you'll see that we use a stretchy cast on to begin this, and we're going to do a half twisted rib in 2x2 for the brim. And above that, you see a Latvian braid, which is so much easier than it looks. I know it looks a little intimidating, but if you've never tried this and been Latvian braid curious, this might be your time. You can also just leave that out and continue into the rest of the pattern, which is just a simple stranded 2-color knit. And this photo is of the prototype, so it's going to look a little bit different than that. But I think there is one row where the floats are maybe 7 stitches, but it's very, very approachable. If you're an adventurous beginner, this is something that you can do. And we'll have video tutorials, as always, to walk people through these different techniques. But it should be a fun, quick knit. And if you choose to do so, you might learn something new. If the Latvian braids are new to you and you decide to go for it, and if you think, I don't really feel like it, no big deal. It looks just as cute without the braid on it.
I like that independent spirit. So the first thing that I noticed was that Latvian braid, which I have always loved the look of, but I've never actually attempted. So I think I'll definitely be doing that. But the thing that you said, so I'm gonna put a disclaimer up there. Do as Becky says, not as Michelle does. So let me just say that. You said that the longest stitches between are like 7 inches for floats. I know that generally the recommended thing is no more than 5 stitches, but I've done as many as 8 before I catch them. So I love patterns like this that let me kind of play with that because I won't be catching those floats. I'll just do them with the pattern, which I think makes it really, really nice. But of course, most of us have the way that we like to do that. So you absolutely want to defer to the way that you're most comfortable about. Now, the reason we did that black and white photo predominantly is so you can see the contrast in the colors, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is one of those patterns where the contrast does matter somewhat. And I say somewhat because, and this is something that comes up a lot with color work, I sometimes like a more subtle contrast. And some people love a really bold contrast. So the black and white gives you an idea of what it looks like in a higher contrast. And you can also photograph your yarn side by side to see what the contrast is and if that's pleasing to you or not before you go ahead and cast on, get all the way into the color work and then decide, I don't know if this is for me. So that's a nice way to do that.
Yeah, it saves you a little bit of time. So let's talk
Yes.
about the pattern again for just a minute before we
Sure.
like sneaky peek the kits. So the pattern will be out about when, what's the timeline of how they can expect the
Oh,
pattern?
sure. So later today, the pattern is going to be released on Ravelry and nomadicknits.com. So you'll be able to purchase your copies there. And the actual pattern is going to come with a PDF placeholder because this is a knit along. So the full pattern is not going to be released until Wednesday. No, yes. Sorry, I wrote it down. Wednesday, February 12th. And that should give you time to download it, gather up any extra supplies you need. There really isn't anything beyond a tapestry needle and some blocking supplies that you're going to need for this. The rest of all the needle requirements, yarn requirements are going to be in that PDF that's available immediately upon purchase. So then the pattern will release on the 12th. You can print it out, put it into Knit Companion, or put it on your device, whatever you like. Be all ready, and we cast on Friday, February 14th.
That is super exciting. I love how you do that with the knit alongs. I love that you have the PDF available because I like to know a little bit about like what's coming, what I need
Yeah.
to have at hand, and that PDF kind of placeholder gives you the ability to do that.
Yes.
So we're all ready to rock and roll. All right, these kits are
Yes.
staring at me. They're beautiful. So let's talk
They
about the kits.
are.
First of all, let me just say, first of all, if this is your first time to our channel, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, hit the bells
Mm.
for notifications so that you get notified every time we're live. I typically am putting out a new video every single week. So it is here. And the reason I'm mentioning that specifically is because in the show notes down below right now, the link for the kits is already there. And we're going to talk a little bit about the kit timeline in just a moment.
Yes.
And so you can absolutely go over to the Nomadic Knits website today, right
Mhm.
now, if you want, and go ahead and order your kit. And we'll catch up a little bit in just a moment about the kit timeline. But let me start by saying it's a little compressed. So you want to make your
Yes.
kit selection pretty quickly, and we'll circle back and revisit that. Okay. Can we show kits?
Yes. Yes.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
I want to show the super like zhuzhed up kit that's all bright and happy first.
Yes. I had a feeling that might be the one that you went for.
Yes. So tell us about this. I've got one. Do you have one to show us too, or are we going to
I do. I have it right
be
here.
in stereo?
Yes. And let's see if I am guessing right which one you are calling the high def. That's right.
Yes.
This is Pink Cadillac. So it is, that's right. So all of the kits are named after songs. And so this is Pink Cadillac, and this is high vis. This is high contrast. The kits, you'll be able to make at least 2 hats out of each kit. If you're making smaller sizes, you'll be able to make more hats than that. So you can make 2 of the same. You can make them, switch around your colors for C1 and C2. Whatever makes your little heart happy, you just go for it.
One of the things that I like about this kit, and I think historically you've done this, which I think is really smart with the kits that you curate, is this is sort of the Pink Cadillac kit is kind of maybe what you might think of more traditional Valentine's Day colors. You've definitely got
Yes.
the pink in there. Now it's kind of a pink on steroids, but it is a
Yes.
pink. So you've definitely got that in there, which I love so much. So Karen Smith said she's already ordered her kit, and I'd like to show
Thank
hers
you.
next, which is
Ooh,
the
I'm not
leader
seeing
so
it.
far in the kits. Am I right?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And I'm
So,
just looking for our chat so that I
oh,
can see what
are you
people are
not seeing
saying.
the
For some
comments? I'm
reason, I'm not
sorry.
seeing it.
Yep.
No, that's okay.
All right. Well, I
I'm
will
gonna pull it up on my phone.
put it up right there.
That's right. Tell me something good.
I love it. So this
The
colorway
little,
is called Stealing Home with a giant
yeah.
TEAL. stealing home that beautiful, really, really rich kind of teal color. And then that is paired with Quicksilver, a lighter gray. I love that so much.
Me too. And it seems, that we aren't the only ones that are loving it. So this is Tell Me Something Good. And it's I've had the Shaka Khan song stuck in my head for days now because of this. But I kind of love it. So I love me some Shaka Khan.
Like an earworm right there in your ear.
Yeah. Yeah. I do this to myself for every batch of kits. I hope I never pick a song I hate because it just gets stuck in my head.
That would be bad. All right, so let's mix things up a little bit because most of these kits are tonal solids, but you had a really genius idea and said, let's go for something a little different just to add a little bit of spice in there. So, I love it.
Yes. And I opened this one up because I want people to see how gorgeous it is. And that I'm trying to see what I'm showing you here. Yeah, so I just love the speckles and these blues and golds, and it's like earth and sky, and so these two are going together. You can see mine are all messy because I've been working with them.
Yes, and this is the kit called Fields of Gold, is that right?
Yes. Yep.
That's a Sting song, right?
It is a Sting song, and if anybody is familiar with Eva Cassidy, she covers it, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So if you're a music buff and you haven't heard that yet, go check it out. It's amazing.
Fields of Gold. I love it so much. All right, next up, the last kit to select from. And I have to say, so these are two colorways. Several of these are just, even you're getting them before they've actually debuted in our shop online, which is really special,
Yay!
I think.
Yes, I love it.
And the two colorways in the kit that we're going to show next we had an event here at Needleworks this Saturday called Solely Socks. It was for sock knitters and sock crankers. And I happened to, I can't keep like my mouth shut. I have to show all the colors and share the things. So I shared these. I know. And these were super, super popular, so much so that we've already gotten special orders for some of these colors. So I'll let you announce the name of the kit and I'll show it, and then you can show yours if you want.
So this is Purple Rain.
Yes. Purple Rain.
Yes, and I love the name of this colorway. And I feel like purple's showing up a little bit more, so it's looking a little...
Cameras are so funny. It just depends.
I know.
Yeah. They always look a little bit different.
In my screen, this one is showing up nice and true. Because it is just this gorgeous color. And do you want to tell them the name of the color? Because I love it.
So Gilbert Grape is the purple. And the more neutral color is Grayish. And I am in love with this as well. This will be debuting in our shop soonish, on the soonish. But yeah, this kit is beautiful. Purple Rain as well. A little more subtle, but for all you purple lovers out there, and purple is kind of a tangential Valentine's-y color, but not so lovey-dovey. Like it's a little cooler on the, it's not so passionate as our pink, right?
That pink, I'll tell you what, is very passionate. When I was trying to photograph it, it's like, and you can see it on both of our screens. It's like, it looks like it's lit from within, and it looks like that in person. Just so everybody knows, this is, they worked some magic to get this incredibly bright pink. It's fantastic. It's really fun.
Bright pink. So here's the deal about the kits that you need to know. You need to order by this Wednesday, January 29th, in order for your kit to ship to you on February 7th. That gives it a full week to get to you so that you'll have it in time for cast on day. So on my podcast, when I'm live, I typically recommend that people have two devices while they watch, one to watch and one to order on. So you don't want to miss out. So we recommend that you head over right now, go ahead and get your order in. Sherry and Terry are dyeing up kits like literally
Yes.
as we speak, so that we can get those out to you in plenty of time. And as usual, because Becky's awesome, she's got some amazing swag that's going to be headed your way as well with the
Yes.
kits. That's right. But we're not going to show that to you just yet. You have to wait a little
Nope.
bit to see the swag. But you know that all the swag that comes out of Nomadic Knits is absolutely awesome. So
Thank
it's going to
you.
be a lot of fun. So this knit along will run in the Nomadic Knits Facebook group. Is that right?
And in our Ravelry group. So if you're not a Facebook person, you can hop into our Ravelry group, and we have a fantastic group there too. It's
Perfect.
been
I love that.
growing and
So
growing, and they're nice and active, and it's the same like fantastic supportive vibe in both platforms.
that's great. I
I
love that
hope.
you, again, give those options for people. You're very good at making sure that everybody's kind of covered, keeping it accessible, and all of
Thank
that. And I
you.
really appreciate that about you.
Thank you. We're like steadily working on that and trying to make it more so as we go, as I can. And in that vein, something that we didn't mention is the Lonely Hearts Club. These kits are amazing and gorgeous, but you do not have to have a kit to knit along with us. This is not
Right.
a private club. Everybody is welcome, always. So we have these kits for you because we love them and we love working together. And we know so many of you love the joy of opening up, yarn mail, squishy mail. Everybody loves squishy mail.
Everybody loves
But
the squishy mail for sure.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, nothing like seeing one of the gorgeous Olive and Two Ewe packages showing up in your in your delivery box. So, and the other thing that I wanted to mention is that we're shipping priority mail, correct?
Correct.
So, just to set everyone's mind at ease, because we said that we will ship on February 7th, and they will be shipping priority mail. So there will be tracking. You'll receive that tracking information so that you don't have to worry about it. And you can order after this Wednesday. It's just that
Absolutely.
we will do our best to do all the things and get the yarn to you as quickly as possible. But your best bet is to get that order in by Wednesday, the 29th. But you can keep ordering after that. And I know that happens often because we all start seeing everyone's kits and photos, and we all get excited about it. So
Makes it a lot of
yeah.
fun. Suzanne has a question. She
Yeah.
wants to know what the weight of the yarn is.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
I
That's pretty
know.
important. Thanks,
It's always good
Suzanne.
when people are here to keep us on track.
Yes, it is. It is a DK weight yarn. And that's another, it brings up another really good point. So it is in, the kits are in the Homer base. And
Yeah.
it has, it's, the superwash merino, and it has some cashmere in it that makes it just like heavenly. And I knit with this last year, and I just really wanted to knit with it again because it's so fantastic. And everybody who touches it or who touches last year's hat is always like, oh my gosh, what is this? So it is a DK weight yarn. You can use any DK that you like, and the gauge will be listed on the PDF that gets released, initially. So you can check your gauge beforehand and make sure that you've got everything lined up and ready to go. So it's sort of a chill cast on day. And the thing that reminded me of,
Me
thank you,
too. Yes.
Suzanne, is that we have, so this is our 5th year. So this is our 5th Lonely Hearts Club design. Our first year we did in bulky. And the last 3 years we've done in DK weight. So these kits will work for those 3 previous
I love that.
patterns as well as this, and they are all included in the knit along. So I can give you a little reminder of what last year's was, which was also in this gorgeous yarn. So
So
this was
beautiful.
the 2024 Lonely Hearts Club pattern. Um, and then this was the 2023. This is called X's and O's. And this is
Fun.
also in DK weight. And this is another very, very simple, like great intro to stranded knitting project because it's just some slip stitches, which is a really nice way to start your color work adventure.
Yeah.
And then there are only 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of actually stranded color work,
Talk about
which
accessible. That's really
is
accessible for a
very
beginner for
easy.
sure.
Yes. So, oh, I lied. 5 rows. It's 5 rows, but still
One
very
extra.
accessible. And you can do it. You can do that extra row. So if you are a little nervous about the color work, maybe start there and then jump into this year's pattern. But either way, you've got this. We'll be there in the group supporting you, and this is totally doable.
That's what I love about knitters and fiber people in general is that everybody
Yeah.
really does support everybody else, which is the
Yeah.
beauty of those Facebook groups. You can share, you can get advice, you can get help if you get stuck, and that makes it really,
Yes.
really wonderful. Those communities are super, super important. So help me out if I'm wrong. If they
Mhm.
did purchase a kit, they could potentially get one of this year's patterns out of it and one of a previous year's patterns.
Yep, absolutely.
So that's a great way to give somebody maybe 2 hats that are coordinated, but different patterns.
Yeah, but
So
not totally matchy,
right,
right?
right, right, exactly, coordinated, and like you said, you
Yeah.
can swap, like, the contrast and the main and kinda
Yes.
get it flipped around, and it would be really interesting, or do a whole selection of them and then mix and match your gift recipient so they get even different colorways or different color
Yes.
combinations. So there's
Yes.
so many ways to kind of make it kind of modular gift knitting, if you will, that makes it kind of neat, but all with the same
Yeah.
general theme.
Yeah, and get that like bang for your buck out of a pattern. Once you've knit one of these, I like to do that because once, especially with hats, if it's a sweater, I'm probably not going to knit it twice unless I'm absolutely obsessed with it because that's a big project. But projects like these, it's a great way to get used to gauge with a particular needle, with a particular fiber, with a particular yarn, and then just sort of churn out a bunch of them with little variations. And it's a good learning process as well as, it simplifies. It takes all of that guesswork out of it. Once you've done the first one, you have a really good idea of what's going to work for you.
That's wonderful. Now, we haven't talked about this. I think I know the answer, so I'm putting you on the spot. Are there
Uh-huh.
prizes? Is there a prize for the knit along?
Yes, there are
Okay.
going to be prizes. There are going to be prizes. So, and this is always the rule for, I don't want to say rule. Rule sounds so,
It's the
man,
guideline.
it's the, I don't know what the word would be, but we don't, winners, like, it's not a race. It's not a
Right.
race to see who's the best or the fastest or who does the most. It is just sort of a random selection of people who have been showing up and knitting and sharing the projects with us. We have to be able to see the projects to choose winners, but it is fairly random. And we've been known to give away prizes to people who are just not even knitting. They're just there sharing the love and really building up the other knitters. A lot of times, we the timeline doesn't always work for us, right?
Right,
Um,
exactly.
and that's okay, but some people still want to get in on the fun. That's how fun the groups are, is that people want to come and hang out, even if they're not necessarily knitting along. And they get to see all of these gorgeous projects that their knit friends are making and just sort of lift them up. And so you never know. You don't even have to be knitting necessarily to win a prize, but there
Absolutely.
will
I
be
love
prizes.
that so much. I love it so much. So, what have I forgotten to ask about, Becky? Tell me all the little loose ends here before we launch
Let's
back into our
see.
day.
I have to look at my list to do this.
You have a
I can do the
list?
So I can just do the quick rundown. The pattern is going to be available later today for purchase on Ravelry and Nomadic Knits. And it will just be a PDF placeholder. It won't be the full pattern, so don't panic. And then the full pattern will be released on Wednesday, February 12th, so that you can get ready. We're going to cast on Friday, February 14th. That is when the knit along officially begins. And all Lonely Hearts Club hats. So any hat that has been designed for this event for this year and the past 4 years is fair game. So anything that you want to knit out of those 5 patterns, you can do. The kits, order yours by Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday, so that it ships on the 7th. It'll ship priority shipping. You'll get notifications so that you can track it. And it will have a really fun swag bag in it. I always have a lot of fun making the swag bag. It feels like I get to send a little love out with each package. And then I know Michelle always zhuzhes them up and has, you know,
A little
packages
something.
them beautiful and sends them on their way. So it's this really fun team effort. I really enjoy doing this with you, and it's just a really cool thing to get to put this together and then watch people make beautiful things out of it.
I love it too. I always love working with you. You have such a collaborative spirit and heart, and that really makes it a pleasure. I do want to mention, because of the way our systems work with each other, it is very possible you will get the tracking number from Olive and Two Ewe Studios in your email. So if you see the tracking from us, don't panic. You didn't sleep by anything. But when we ship it out, you'll get the tracking probably from Olive and Two Ewe Studios. So just to try to head off any confusion there, it can be a little confusing over the years, but just so you know what's happening with that as well. So
that was a really good thing to remember. All these things that we think of usually, well, I usually think of them after. You're pretty good about keeping us on track. Were there any other questions? I still can't see them. So any other questions that anybody had that
I will say Karen, our friend in Scotland, says she loves the purple, but she hates being in the UK, is missing out on yarn because we're not shipping to the UK. That is unfortunate. Maybe in a future time we will.
Yes.
Possibly. You never know what's going to happen. Dion has her selection. She's thinking our gimbap and burnt colorways. So a little stash dive, a little something like that. So definitely that's a possibility. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to either Becky or myself. Becky is more the technological whiz behind the knit along itself. If you have something specific about a colorway, perhaps feel free to reach out to me at michelle@oliveandtwoewe.com. In the show notes, you've got our websites for both of us and our social media link so that you can follow both of us and stay in touch with both of us. You definitely want to join the Nomadic Knits Facebook group. And while you're at it, you can also join the Yarny Use Facebook group on Facebook. Did I just say that? Facebook on Facebook for Olive and Two Ewe Studios. We have a great time in there as well. And we've got a lot of cross-pollination between the groups. So
yes, I was just going to say, make sure you hop in the Yarny Use as well, because they always have a great chat going on and sharing their projects and their colors. And we're doing the same thing over in the Nomadic Knits Facebook group, but it's like you get to bop back and forth to both and see what people are talking about in each one, and it's always a little bit different. So I really enjoy popping into the Yarny Use because they are such a great community. I know that every time we do a knit along, that they are in there showing up with our Olive and Two Ewe yarn and these beautiful colorways and putting together combos, and I always enjoy seeing it. So definitely check that out as well.
I love that our two groups are well meshed, so to speak. Twice the fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. And another thing I wanted to mention is, in lieu of contacting us, if you have questions, the best way to reach me is always hello@nomadicknits.com. And that's because sometimes the posts, they fly by so quickly, and trying to see, even things that you've been tagged in, especially if it's a comment, it's really difficult to keep up with that. So if it is a question that has to do with a purchase, or, you know, like Michelle said, a piece of technology, she's being really kind. I'm not a whiz, but I will do my best to help you out always. And you know, so things like that, purchases, any sort of customer service issue that comes up, please, please, please just email me directly. It's always me that's getting those emails. And I get to them as quickly as I can, but it's really easy for me to miss them on social media and in Ravelry. So I just like
For
to let
sure.
everybody know. Yeah. Yep.
For
But I
sure.
love
And
seeing
thank
all your
you.
comments and colors.
Yeah, and thank you for supporting small business. Becky and I both love what we
Yes.
do, and we're always so grateful for your
Yes.
support. It means the world to us. It lets us continue on in our dream job. We work hard, but we love every single minute of it, and we love
Yes.
all of you and everyone who supports that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm excited about a very exciting Lonely Hearts Knit Along this year. Becky, thank you so much for being with me today and sharing
Thank
all the
you.
things. And yeah, we look forward to it so very much. So thanks for being here. And we'll see you in the Nomadic Knits group and in the Yarn Use. Take
That's
care.
right. I'll be in both saying hello. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.